There has never been a better time than now to come join the Bellisio Foods team. Bellisio has a new contract in place with plenty of awesome perks for their employees. From increased wages, access to the free health clinic, vacation after 6 months, and much more, Bellisio Foods is committed to putting their employees first. For more information or to apply, visit BellisioFoods.com/careers. Take advantage of these great new employee benefits and join the Bellisio team today. Visit BellisioFoods.com/careers to learn more. We at Orange Crush have many things to be thankful for, including everyone who makes Orange Crush a part of their day. To show our thanks, Orange Crush, WKOV, and participating Save-A-Lot locations will be giving away Thanksgiving turkeys to dozens of winners because even though Thanksgiving celebrations still might look different this year, we know Thanksgiving favorites will still be a part of your plan. Visit GJPepsiContest.com/turkey to find out where you can enter to win now through November 18th. No purchase is necessary. See official rules for details.
A 2021 Christmas concert is being planned, however, the men need to increase their numbers. There is still time to become part of this show. Join us at the Markay Cultural Arts Center in downtown Jackson, Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. See you there. Oh, by the way, be ready to meet new friends and have fun. And, oh yes, bring your smile, you'll need it.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing, John?
I'm feeling kind of lonely.
Yeah, I know. I'm over here at the control booth, and we stuck you up there all by yourself.
And, of course, sad news, Jennifer doesn't feel well.
Yeah,
That's
Jennifer,
not good.
We're minus Jennifer this morning
I know.
again.
Either that or she didn't want to put up with me again.
Well, that's what I think it is. She heard you were coming back.
Yeah.
She said, I thought we were done with that old guy.
Really.
Didn't we have a whole week of shows to see him off?
So didn't we get rid of that guy? But I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
glad
you.
to have you back.
Yeah, I'm on a mission.
Yeah?
Yeah, when we get time, we're going to talk about the Remembering the 60's concert coming up this Saturday.
This Saturday at the Markay.
Well, I am not prepared.
Well, here's our information. Yeah. This Saturday. Is it just one night? I thought you guys were doing two shows. It's just one night.
Just one night, one show. That's all we can handle. Of course, this is all for Rock for Tots. And I need to preface that by saying that all the monies that we raise, it's a $20 price for the ticket, as you can see. $10 of that goes to help the Markay, which is good. And then the other 10 will go to our local toy drives, including the Wellston Fire Department's toy drive, Christmas toy drive, Gearing Up for Christmas, the Gear Grinders toy drive, and Jaffe's toy drive as well.
Yeah, that's great. Doing something good for the community.
Yeah, well, and there'll be the concert. Between the concert, there'll be a small auction, not a lot of items, but just trying to raise, some money for the kids during Christmas.
I didn't know about the auction. So what kind of items are in the auction?
Well, we have.
It's like gifts donated from the sponsors, right? Okay.
We have some really neat stuff. I'm trying to think back. We have. Thanks to Sam Jenkins Funeral Chapel, he, by the way, is a great photographer. He has a couple of his photographs of Lake Alma. They're absolutely gorgeous, framed and ready to hang. We have a Ohio State football autograph by Ryan Day.
Well, that's cool.
That's going to be up for auction.
Yeah.
There's going to be a television, a TV.
Oh, man, I need that.
I know. There's... let's see what else we got. We have Jerry's Do It Center, Greg Beckner and all the gang down there has donated a cordless weed whacker, trimmer.
Man,
string
I need
trimmer.
that one too.
Yeah, battery powered.
Good
Don't
stuff.
have to drag a cord or fill it up with gas. We have some goodies from Total Media, some tickets to see the wild lights at the Columbus Zoo.
Yeah, that's a can't miss.
I'm trying to remember all the things that are in the auction, and it's not a lot. By the way, there is a priceless item in there.
Uh-oh.
It's an autographed guitar autographed by John Jones.
I thought you were going to say it was an autographed John Pelletier 8x10 headshot.
Well, it's John Jones.
Close.
It's the band. We have all signed it, and it's of course, it's a black guitar with a case. It's really a cool guitar, and it's we say it's priceless, but it's probably worth $500 maybe.
It's worth a few bucks, yeah.
Yeah. So, and there's other great items too for people that would like to help out. Mm-hmm. And it's also that'll be during intermission between the two sets. Paul Pollard will be there, and he'll perform to kick everything off. It all starts at 7 o'clock at the Markay, and tickets are $20. Now, keep in mind that tickets are limited now.
Yeah.
There's not a lot left. So if you want your tickets, please go to markayjackson.org. You can buy them online. And if not, you can track down some people from Jaffe or the Wellston Fire Department or the Gear Grinders, and they have tickets too if they're not sold out. So.
Yeah, and I'll have all the information and links to buy the tickets in the video description. So if you guys haven't got your tickets yet, it should be right there. Just click that link, call that phone number.
Yep.
Help you out, $20.
It'll be good.
Yeah. So we've got last year. You guys weren't able to do this, of course.
No,
we did it virtually.
Yes.
So I have some of our songs that we recorded last year that we can play here today.
And yeah, we had Kyle Fannin who did the sound on it, and of course James Hamilton who did the video. And these were live recordings.
Yeah.
Those are always scary. But we got permission from the Markay, and we did two things with this. We recorded them for Paul Pollard's Rock for Tots. He had to do his virtually. So instead of performing there, we submitted these videos. And then, of course, we've used them to promote our concert.
Yeah. And so we'll take a look at one of those here in just a second. And then when we come back from it, I've got some trivia questions here. We're going to find out just how well John Pelletier actually remembers the 60s.
Now, you have to understand that in the 60s, I was playing music. And I probably wasn't totally aware of what was going on around me.
Well, I've got two lists here. One is music trivia and one is general trivia of the 1960s.
What kind of trivia?
Music trivia and then just general questions.
Oh, general. Okay. All right.
All right. Well, do you have a preference which song we go to first?
Not really. I mean, they're all pretty good.
All right.
Bart sings. Ones he sings are better than the one I sing.
All right. Well, let's do one of Bart's first, and then we'll come back and we'll do some trivia, and then we'll listen to one of your songs after that, maybe.
All right. Sounds good.
We'll be back in a minute.
Riding along in my automobile, my baby beside me at the wheel. I stole a kiss at the turn of a mile. My curiosity running wild. Cruising and playing the radio with no particular place to go. Riding along in my automobile, I'm anxious to tell her the way I feel. I told her softly and sincere. She leaned and whispered in my ear, cuddling, driving and moving slow with no particular place to go. Parkway out on the Kokomo. The night was young and the moon was gold. We both decided to take a stroll. Can you imagine the way I felt? I couldn't have fastened a safety belt. Riding along in my automobile, still trying to get her seatbelt loose. All the way home I held a grudge for the safety belt that would not budge. Cruising and playing the radio with no particular place to go.
All right. That's great, dude. No particular place to go.
Sounds like me in retirement. Actually, there was a place to go.
Yeah.
Thanks to Total Media, all the family that I worked with for 50-some years, they gave me a retirement gift. We went to Vegas. Connie and I went to Las Vegas, and we were able to have a great time.
Yes, you saw Lionel Richie.
Yeah, Lionel Richie was in concert. That was probably the highlight of everything. And we went to that concert, walked into the Wynn Casino.
Yeah.
And they have a theater there. And there was probably, it would seat, several thousand people, but they're all there to see Lionel Richie. This was his first concert since COVID, and he was able to do a concert, and he talked a little bit about being away and how all of his songs became politically incorrect while he was away during COVID. She's a Brick House and all that, but he went in and sang them anyway. So
I didn't know that was a Lionel Richie song.
Yeah.
When Bart was in a few weeks ago to talk about the Jackson County roots, he played a little bit of a Lionel Richie song. Oh shoot, I can't think what the name of it is now. But yeah, he played a little bit of a Lionel Richie song. He threw that out there, and I was like, I can't really imagine him playing that. So I kind of challenged him. I was like, yeah, that's the one I want to hear you play. And he nailed it, as I'm sure you know that he would.
Oh, yeah.
Or you sent me a photo of Lionel. I'm going to bring it up here in just a second.
That's okay. Anyway, we went to Las Vegas, and in Las Vegas, there's a lot of things to do, but all the things to do incorporate a lot of walking.
Yeah.
And, of course, if you like Las Vegas, then you like to eat.
Yeah.
Lots of places to eat. We walked around and saw quite a bit of Las Vegas. Of course, there's the casinos where they're willing to take as much money as you'll throw on the table.
Yep.
And that was part of the concert, the setup. So Lionel was on stage. He had a grand piano. Had the musicians around him were really, really good. So it was a great concert.
That's awesome. All right.
The first set he did his songs, and he played a lot on his grand piano, as you can see. And the second set that he did was pretty much all his Commodore's music when he was playing with the Commodore. So,
okay. All right.
It was a great show.
So I said we're going to get into some 60s trivia here.
Okay.
All right. So like I said, these are worded in such a way that makes it kind of difficult. So this might be harder than I think it is. So I'm just going to grab one here at random. All right.
Okay.
Today's Teardrops was a hit in Australia for which of the following? Bobby V, Del Shannon, Gene Pitney, or Roy Orbison?
What was the name of the song?
Today's Teardrops.
Today's Teardrops?
Yes.
Was a hit in Australia for
either Bobby V, Del Shannon, Gene Pitney, or Roy Orbison.
Today's Teardrops. I don't I remember a song called Teardrops.
Yeah. Was it by Roy Orbison?
Why, is that the answer?
Roy Orbison is the answer. He recorded Today's Teardrops as the flip side to Blue Angel in 1960s.
Yeah, it was a B-side. I knew it was be a B-side.
Yeah, so it says it was a bigger hit in Australia.
Yeah. And that happens.
Yeah.
Of course, it's hard to explain to the newer generations that, we listen to music on little flat things they called records that would spin around and you put a needle on it.
Yeah.
But that did happen. There was 2 sides to 45s back then. That's what most radio stations were playing in the 60s, were the 45s. And every once in a while, a disc jockey would flip one over because he liked the other side and he would play it in it. It would take off.
Yeah. All right, let's do another one. This might be just as hard or easier, I don't know. All right, 1960, Elvis Presley had 3 #1 hits on the Hot 100 in 1960. Which of the following songs was not an Elvis #1 hit in 1960? Teen Angel, Stuck on You, or It's Now or Never?
Teen Angel.
Teen Angel is the correct answer. It was a hit for Dirk Dinning.
Yep.
And peaked at the top of the charts for 2 weeks in February of 1960.
Yeah. Teen Angel is one of those songs, and I kind of remember it, but those were not my favorites. Those were those tear-jerking, my girlfriend passed away, and, it just it was never any of my favorites. So.
All right. All right, so here's one about my favorite 60s musical artist. In 1965, the Turtles' rendition of this Bob Dylan tune became the group's first top 10 hit on the Billboard Hot 100. Which of the following is the correct answer? The Mighty Quinn, Mr. Tambourine Man, All Along the Watchtower, or It Ain't Me, Babe?
What is it?
It Ain't Me, Babe.
It Ain't Me, Babe. Huh. Well, All Along the Watchtower was Dylan's song, but
right, and of course Jimi Hendrix made it famous.
It was not a Turtles thing, but
no.
What was
Mr. So the options are. Sorry, go ahead.
Mr. Tambourine Man's not it.
Yeah, so Mr. Tambourine Man was covered by, I think,
The Byrds.
The Byrds, yeah. So a lot of his songs are made famous by somebody else. And if I'm not mistaken, the Turtles did cover The Mighty Quinn also. But the answer is It Ain't Me, Babe.
Yeah.
Which, of course, maybe the more famous cover of that song is
Sonny and Cher.
Well, I was going to say Johnny and June Cash.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah. So his songs covered a lot. So this was released in 1964.
Gotcha.
All right. We're doing okay. We're doing better than I thought we would.
If I had known I was going to have a test here, I would have studied.
Well, I just came up with the test about 15 minutes before you got here. All right, so this might be an easy one. And if you guys listening, if you know the answer, give it in the comments too.
Yeah.
In 1964, the Beatles had 6 #1 songs on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Which of these was a #1 hit in a different year? Okay, that's pretty hard. Unless you know what year like every Beatles album came out. All right, so which one of these was not a #1 hit in 1964? I Want to Hold Your Hand, Love Me Do, She Loves You, or 8 Days a Week?
I have to go with the one that came out the latest. I mean, was an older song. Would be 8 Days a Week.
That is correct. 8 Days a Week didn't hit #1 until 1965.
Yeah, that was later.
Yeah, not much later though.
I know.
Only gave it 1 year difference. All right.
They pumped out a lot of music, and they started really earlier than that in the early '60s. So.
Yeah, I think one of the most interesting things about the Beatles is they had like all these incredibly memorable songs, but they did it all in the course of like 8 years or something like that.
Yeah, they were only a band for. For the fans, the Beatles fans, it seemed like they were together and then they separated way too quickly, which they did. But knowing, if you look back on their history, they had played together for about 10 years and they were ready to do other things. and they had the money to do other things. So.
Yeah, oh yeah. All right, I think this is probably an easy one. In the last week of December 1966, the Monkees hit the #1 spot on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 with what song?
The Monkees?
The Monkees.
66?
66.
Let's see. There's several songs that came out. Last Train to Clarksville.
That was a good one, but that's not the answer.
That's not it.
It's their biggest hit, other than maybe the TV theme song, not counting it.
Their biggest hit.
Yeah.
We do a Monkees song. I'm not a
Oh, yeah?
Monkees fan, by the way, so I always thought that they were kind of commercially over the top.
Well, the Monkees are kind of interesting because that's a formula that has been copied a lot in because they were put together by a TV studio basically.
Right.
Like they went out, the Beatles were super popular, so like the studio went out and they're like, well, let's just cast the band to be like the Beatles, and they went out and they found Mickey Dolenz and what's the other guy from the Beatles? Because they were had that like Britpop sound that the Beatles were so big for. But the answer is I'm a Believer.
Okay.
And I did not know this. That song is composed by Neil Diamond.
Yeah, it was. It's a Neil Diamond song. We can play that song. We choose not to. I mean, it's not one of my favorites.
Yeah.
We do a Monkey song. I'm not your stepping stone. So.
Well, got to give a shout out to Rick Sims. He got that one right.
Okay, Rick.
I'm a Believer.
Rick knows more than I do.
Well, yeah. And Rick is one of our best listeners, too, so we always appreciate Rick.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he is a good guy. If my generation all knows that song because it's in Shrek.
Yeah, that's right.
So I wasn't sure if you would get the hint if I said Shrek or not.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, the way that the Monkees were, put together, kind of like cast. I mean, that's sort of the same way that NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys and a lot of those groups came around.
The TV show came first, the concept, and then they did auditions and put the band together.
Davy Jones, that's the other name from the Monkees.
Michael Nesmith was the guitar player.
Did you know that David Bowie's real name is David Jones, and the reason he went by David Bowie was because Davy Jones from the Monkees was so famous at the time? Debbie Peoples says she loved the Monkey Show. Okay. I remember watching that a little bit on TV Land when I was a little kid, but it wasn't really big. Rick Sims says that Neil Diamond wrote Last Train to Clarksville also.
Okay.
I didn't know that either. It's interesting. Talking about all the songs Neil Diamond wrote, one of my favorite because there are a lot of concert films made of 60s bands. And my favorite is definitely the band The Last Waltz, which of course heavily features Neil Diamond.
Yeah.
Have you watched that?
I have not seen it.
You've not? I really recommend it. It is directed by Martin Scorsese. It was one of the first things that he did. And all of the people that he brought in to film this concert all went on to win Academy Awards for cinematography and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it was all of the best cinematographers of the next generation shooting this concert. It's really cool. All right, let's find another good one. Okay. Oh, okay. A lot of them are supposed to be multiple choice, but they don't have the choices written out very well.
Okay.
All right, here's another Beatles one. The Beatles were responsible for 4 of the 5 best-selling UK singles of the 1960s. Which comedian recorded the only non-Beatles single and the only one to have a one-word title in the top 5? So this is a British thing, so probably don't know it. But so of the top 5 best-selling singles in the UK of the 1960s, who was the one that was not a Beatles song?
Don't know.
Yeah, I don't know this name either. Ken Dodd. So he first recorded the song Tears, or I don't know. It gives you like 2 paragraphs explaining this. It makes it too difficult. So I'm not familiar with him. He's probably only famous in the UK. All right, here's another Beatles one. I think this one might be a little bit easier. The first track on the album by the Beatles in this 2-record set includes these lyrics. What is the title of this US B-side? All right, and here's the lyric. Well, she looked at me, and I could see that before too long, I'd fall in love with her.
Saw her standing there?
That is correct. I saw her standing there.
Okay.
That came out in 1964.
Run the song through
well,
my
that's
mind.
If I could sing, that would have been a lot better. But I'm not gonna like force us to do that. All right, you want to take a break from the trivia and do another song?
Yeah, is there cash prizes for this? Is this like Jeopardy? I keep thinking that Vanna White or somebody's going to show up.
Well, we can spin the wheel when we come back if you want.
Okay.
And pretty much everything except for what's in this room has been moved out of this building, so you can kind of just have your pick of whatever junk is left over.
I'll have to look around the room while we're watching the song and see if there's anything good in here.
There's lots of 8mm camcorders.
Okay.
If you're interested in that. All right. Okay. So we've been talking about the Beatles. This is a Beatles song that I was not familiar with until you guys played it that night.
Things We Said Today?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I love this song. I really didn't do it justice, but
I think you're being too hard on yourself.
It's just typical Lennon McCartney stuff. I really think it's a good song. So
yeah. All right.
Let's
check it out.
If I have to go, you'll be thinking of me. Somehow I will know. Someday when I'm lonely, wishing you weren't so far away, then I will remember things we said today. You say you'll be mine, girl, till the end of time. These days such a kind girl seems so hard to find. Someday when we're dreaming, deep in love, not a lot to say, then we will remember things we said today. Me, I'm just the lucky kind, love to hear you say that love is love, and though we may be blind, love is here to stay, and that's enough to make you mine, girl. Be the only one. Love me all the time, girl. We'll go on and on. Someday when we're dreaming, deep in love, not a lot to say, then I will remember things we said today. Me, I'm just the lucky kind, love to hear you say that love is love, and though we may be blind, love is here to stay, and that's enough to make you mine, girl. Be the only one. Love me all the time, girl. We'll go on and on. Someday when we're dreaming, deep in love, got a lot to say, then we will remember things we said today.
Woo!
Oh, thank you. I know.
Listen to those pipes.
I wish. Hey, we probably should mention on drums, David Leach.
Yeah.
I call him Davey Leach.
Davey.
And then on guitar, John Jones. And guitar and vocals, Bart Wiseman. The guy on the keyboards, Dr. Craig Klein. We call him Doc. and of course myself. And this all started to be, believe it or not, this started, as I mentioned, during the sugar shacks that Paul Pollard had. Paul Pollard, he donates anywhere between $60,000 to $80,000 every year to charities, including, for Christmas. He does their own Rock for Tots, which raises money for kids who need something for Christmas. He also gives out scholarships. He donates to different charities, Elizabeth Hope, Big Brothers, Big Sisters organizations, different churches, some in our area for their sports programs, just a lot of things. But the money we raise, as I told you before, will go to Rock for Tots, and he sends what we raise and what he's going to contribute to the Wellston Fire Department's toy drive, to the Gearing Up for Christmas, the Gear Grinders, and for Jaffe. So there's literally thousands of dollars that will be generated, to come back and help the kids this Christmas. So for $20, you'll be helping the Markay, you'll be helping our kids, and hopefully you'll have a good time.
Yeah. I mean, that's just such a wonderful thing, helping so many people, and it's a win-win. You get to go to this great show, and you're doing something nice for the community, for kids that need a little help.
And Paul Pollard started it because we played a few times at his Sugar Shack, which was in the spring, and those monies, of course, were to help go to our charities. And we decided we would go ahead and do this concert in 2019, and again this year, to sort of make sure there's more money and to help him out to pay back.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And then again, just to remind people, if they did tune in late, that Remembering the 60s this Saturday, November 13th at the Markay. Tickets are still available, but are limited. It'll probably sell out, so you should probably not wait too much longer. $20 each. Show starts at 7 p.m. Half of the money goes to the Markay, and half of it goes to the toy drive.
Yep, that's it.
So when you were kind of in your last week with us here at Total Media, we talked a lot about like when you were in bands and stuff when you were younger. So I wonder if you want to kind of just go through your history of like playing in bands, like how you got started with it, and kind of some of the peaks and valleys that you had in that career.
Well, there were mostly valleys. I started playing right out of, I was probably a sophomore, junior in high school. Started playing in bands. Not too many people know this. It's most of the people my age are, but I'm not a native of this area. I actually was raised in Reynoldsburg, and I played with a band in Reynoldsburg. My father and my mom, our parents, they bought an orchard, the old Swisher Starcher orchard, outside of Wellston. And that's when we moved, and I moved here the beginning of my senior year. So I brought my guitars with me, and then John Jones, who plays in this concert, he and I were playing in a band.
And you
together.
Guys were, 17, 18 years old then?
That was 1965. And it was myself, John Jones, Larry Martin played the drums, and there was a guy by the name of Joe Click who played a guitar. So anyway, we played Teen Town, and we played in Jackson, we played the Pool in Oak Hill, we played around the area. And then there was a band in Jackson called the Truants, and things sort of migrated together. I was playing with the Truants for a while, and so was John Jones. And then I started playing with, when I went to college, I started playing with Craig Fuller. And Craig Fuller, of course, is known for the group Pure Prairie League. I played with him, and the beginnings of Pure Prairie League, of course, there's a long story about that. Then I put together a group called Chestnut Run which is probably the best group I was ever with, and that was Larry Cook, Walt Cook, a guy on the steel guitar by the name of Paul Bowles, and then Davey Leach on the drums. Then after many years of traveling and going broke and not eating very well.
Getting in bar fights.
Yeah, all right. I got into, and music led to my broadcasting career because my amplifiers, it was so large. I had to have a place to store it. It wouldn't fit where I lived. So I stored it, and I paid to have it stored at WKOV, which was the old Coveland house on 788. And Gary Unger, who was the manager then, I walked in one day to get my gear, and he was having trouble getting help. And he asked me, he said, if I knew anything about radio, and I said, sure. And his eyes lit up. I said, well, you turn the knob this way to go off and this way to go on.
Yeah.
And he put me on the air. He actually ripped some news off the teletype and set me in front of a microphone and hit the card player, which said WKOV award-winning news, and it was his voice. Mm-hmm. And I read the news. And after I got through, the phone rang, and I picked it up, and the voice on the other end says, "Where'd you get your award, Sears and Roebuck?" It was pretty bad.
So I'm guessing that you didn't win another award that particular year.
No, I didn't win any awards on that day. But I did start working part-time and tried to go to college and play music and do radio all at the same time. But I stuck with radio.
Yeah.
And then for the 50th, our 1966 class of Wellston, for our 50th reunion, we got the band back together. John Jones,
Jake
Larry
Elwood.
Martin, myself, but we couldn't find Joe Click.
Yeah.
We tried. I mean, we tried for months to get a hold of him, track him down. We couldn't do it. So Bart stepped in, and we played the reunion. Paul Pollard heard about it and then invited us to the Sugar Shack, and got to be good friends with Dr. Craig Klein, who is in the Wellston Rotary Club, invited him to play. So we did some Sugar Shacks and then led up to us doing these concerts. We did one in 2019. We hope to do one this Saturday.
Yeah.
But my music career was, I'd like to describe it like Neil Young described his career. He said, my career started off slow and then tapered off altogether.
Yeah. Well, he also said it's better to burn out than fade away, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So anyway, no, I really enjoyed my broadcasting career, of course. I was very fortunate to do what you really like to do. But I also like music, which was part of the broadcasting career, and so very fortunate. Yeah. But anyway, I played for many, many years, traveled many, many miles, and made very little money.
Well, hey, some of us don't get to do any of those things. Some of us just stay home and don't make very much money.
Well, anyway, I've been very blessed.
Yeah. All right. Let's do a couple more trivia. So
okay.
This is we're getting into some movie trivia now. So
Trivia.
Yeah. So you said you probably won't be as good at this, and we weren't very good at the music. So so we're starting low and we're just going down.
Yeah, we're going to taper off altogether.
Yeah, we're just going to fade away. We're going to burn out and fade away. All right. What 1968 movie features this quote? "I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that."
That was Space Odyssey.
That is 2001: A Space Odyssey, a movie written about the far distant future time.
2001.
20 years ago. We're not quite there yet. All right, let's find another good one.
Okay.
Okay, which 1961 movie based on an adaptation of William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet featured rival street gangs, the Sharks and the Jets?
Rival street gangs.
When you're a jet, you're a jet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I can't think. All I can think of is Grease, but
Not quite.
But it's not.
I'll give you a hint. There is a big budget Hollywood remake of this film coming out next year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It'd be West Side Story.
West Side Story.
West
Yeah.
Side
Okay.
Story. Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right. We said we weren't going to be good at these, so I wasn't expecting much. In what TV series first seen on our screens in the 1960s did the main character Steve McGarrett have the catchphrase "Book 'em, Dano"?
Hawaii 5-0.
Hawaii 5-0. Yeah, Rick got West Side Story. Our comments are a little delayed. I'm sorry,
Okay.
Rick. If we had a prize, we'd give it to you, but like I said, the building's
I know.
empty. There's nothing left except for me and John.
They took all the good stuff and
Yeah,
left.
Well, all those records you were just talking about spinning are still over there.
Really?
All right, let's find a good one. All right. He walks, he talks. The former was expected, the latter less so. If I now tell you that this television star who debuted in 1961 weighed over 500 pounds, what would his name be?
A TV star
Yep.
that weighed over 500 pounds.
And he could walk, he could talk. You expected him to walk, but you were surprised when he talked. 1961.
1961. You got me on this one.
Mr. Ed.
Oh yeah. Okay.
We are doing bad on these. I thought that was a good one. All right. This one we should get. The definitive voice of Roy Orbison always invokes memories of the swingin' 60s. Which of the Big O's hits do these lyrics bring to mind? I guess I'll go home. It's late. Maybe tomorrow night. But wait. What do I see? She is walking back to me. Yeah, she's walking back to me. Roy Orbison lyrics.
That's all his "You Got Me Crying" songs. You
Yeah.
know.
Well, this is his big one.
Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
Chart topper in 1964.
I didn't do too bad. I only missed a couple.
Well, I only asked you a couple.
Well, okay, I didn't. I tapered off altogether.
Yeah.
Thanks, James.
So I talk about how they write like a paragraph about all these guys. So they write a little bit about the Traveling Wilburys. You much of a Traveling Wilburys
I
fan?
remember the Traveling
Yeah.
Wilburys.
That was another. When I was in high school, you remember the sitcom That 70s Show?
Not really.
All right. Well, like 1960s, 1970s kind of nostalgia was big, like when I was a teenager. So while you may have expected my music tastes to be things from like the early 2000s, stuff like that was pretty popular when I was in school. And the Traveling Wilburys, they released like they only had 2 albums, but they released the Greatest Hits album about that time. So that was a really popular one amongst
they were
my...
Truly a super group.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, they kind of coined that phrase,
yeah,
really.
George Harrison, Bob Dylan, Tom Petty, Jeff Wynne,
Yep.
Roy Orbison.
Roy Orbison. Yep.
They did some really wonderful things.
Yep. All right, let's find one more really good one,
Okay.
and then maybe we'll do another song.
Okay.
And then we'll come back and. All right, here's a good one. 1962, Bond, James Bond. Sean Connery uttered these words in the first 007 film, which premiered this year. Which was it? The first James Bond film.
Goldfinger?
No.
Okay. That's.
I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
Like Goldfinger, it is the name of the movie is the name of the villain.
Dr. No.
Dr. No is
Okay.
it.
Thank
Dr.
you.
No is it. We got
right.
one. All right. Well, let's listen to another Remembering the 60s tune.
Okay.
And then we'll come back and we'll remind everybody how to get tickets and
Sounds like a plan.
we'll say goodbye. All right. Here is The Last Time by the Rolling Stones.
once and I told you twice, but you never listened to my advice. You don't try very hard to please me, with what you know it should be easy. Well, this could be the last time, this could be the last time, maybe the last time, I don't know. Oh no. Well, sorry girl, but I can't stay feeling like I do today. Too much pain and too much sorrow. Guess I'll feel the same tomorrow. Well, this could be the last time, this could be the last time, maybe the last time, I don't know. Oh no. Oh no. This could be the last time, this could be the last time, maybe the last time, I don't know. Oh no. Oh no. Well, I told you once and I told you twice that someone will have to pay the price. But here's your chance to change my mind, 'cause I'll be gone a long, long time. Well, this could be the last time, this could be the last time, maybe the last time, I don't know. Oh no. Oh no. Well, this could be the last time, I know. Oh no, no. Oh no, no, no. Oh no, no, no. Oh no, no, no. Oh no, no, no.
Woo! I thought that was Mick Jagger for a second.
Yeah,
up there.
right.
You might not have the Jagger dance moves down, but
No, I don't.
you guys nailed the rest of it.
Yeah, if I tried that, I'd hurt myself. I'm surprised that
Well,
he
I
can
don't.
still
Yeah,
do
how
it.
does he not hurt himself?
I know, I don't
Guys,
know.
How? I mean, is he 80 yet? He's got to be.
Yeah, they're hitting their 80s,
Yeah.
and they still keep on
Yeah,
going.
they hadn't slowed down very much.
The things have changed in the music industry because, and I'm not saying this is necessarily true for all of them, but the years of making money off of your music are gone.
Yeah, it's very different for sure.
Album sales used to be a big thing, record sales used to be a big thing, but that's now
Yeah.
gone.
It's more about licensing your music for
Yeah.
a commercial or something like that.
Yeah,
now.
you can. It's all about merchandising. It's all about touring. You can make, like you say, if a company wants to use your song in a commercial,
Yeah.
imaging, that's big too. But some of these groups have to continue to, if they want to generate bucks,
Right. The big tours. That's
they have to keep going. So.
I watched, I think it's on HBO. It's either on HBO or Netflix, but there's a really good documentary series about the Grateful Dead out. And it talks about how early on they realized that they didn't want to be recording artists, that they just wanted to be a touring band.
Yeah.
And that was, that they didn't really care about putting out albums and stuff like that much. And that's part of why they let people bootleg their music the way
Yeah.
that they did, because they cared about doing a show and keeping it unique and fresh and just keep going and going and going.
There's a wonderful energy about a live performance. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
Studios are hard work, and studios, like live recordings, are very revealing. you have to be on your game. Luckily, in recording, there's retakes and
Right.
overdubs,
Auto
and
tuning.
right, and but yeah, it's the music industry has completely changed. Like we mentioned, we did the Lionel Richie concert, and some of those musicians that play on stage, if they're not touring, since they're not name artists, but they're wonderful musicians. They need to play to work, and work
Right.
to make money. So
Yeah.
it's not as easy as it looks.
Oh no, I can't imagine how exhausting it
Yeah.
would be now. Because you're right. Like once upon a time, like a big band or even a smaller band, they'd go into the studio, they'd record an album, they'd tour, promote the album, and then they'd maybe take a year off,
Yeah.
take 2 years off. But yeah, I mean it's just constant touring. I mean, of course, people weren't able to tour last year. And we just saw that horrible tragedy
Yeah.
at a concert just a couple
Yes,
days
it
ago.
was. It was.
So that-
It was hard on live music. It really was. It was
Yeah.
hard on musicians. And now that they're playing, keep in mind when you go to see a live performance by an artist, a local artist here, what you don't see are the hours of practicing. What you don't see is the travel.
Right.
What you don't see is the setup, the tear down, lots of things that you don't see that the artist endures
Right.
just for just a few hours on stage. So,
Right.
and believe it or not, it's worth it. I
Oh
mean,
yeah. Well, I mean, just the the little show that you guys are going to do. That show's going to last 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
But how long are you guys going to spend setting that up? How long are you going to spend doing your sound check?
Yeah.
You're going to be there 2 hours after the show's over, cleaning up and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's going to be. So yeah, I mean, we don't have roadies.
Right. I mean, it's just you guys. It's you guys and any of your friends that you can convince to help you carry something.
We'll go in, and we're old, and it takes us a long time to set up. So, but it's going to be a great night. We hope that everyone has a chance to come, to enjoy, and have a good time.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go over the tickets one more time.
All right.
Remembering the 60s, Part 2, this Saturday, November 13th, at the Markay Cultural Arts Center. $20 a ticket. Half that money goes to support the Markay. Half of it goes to support Rock for Tots. And one other thing that we didn't talk about any is Bob Eisnogel's art show is up at the Markay right now also.
It's worth.
So it's a 2-for-1
Yeah,
kind of deal
it's-
right now.
It's a fabulous show. Of course, Bob is a true artist.
Right.
And you'll see it in his work. And he's, of course, what you see is just the tip of the iceberg of what he does. But it's a very interesting show. I was in there the other day and walked around for quite a while and looked at his work, and it's amazing.
Yeah, so be sure to come at least half hour, maybe even
Right.
hour early.
Sure.
I mean, you said there's going to be an intermission too, so that will give you
Yeah.
time. But yeah,
Check the work then.
yeah, but it's definitely 2 for the price of 1 kind of deal. All right, well, John, thank you for
you're
coming
welcome.
in today. I appreciate it.
No problem.
I know we're kind of making it work. We're kind of in the middle of a move. We're going to be in our new studio, probably fingers crossed next week.
All right.
So I'll be, our days of broadcasting from the radio building are coming to an end, which is
I know.
I know they're going to have to rename it. Or you're going to call it the radio building if there's no radio anymore.
Yeah, I remember walking over here with Lou Davis, and he's saying that we're going to move here, and
Yeah.
I remember building it, and the same thing that's going on at the Stockmeister Plaza. It's not easy.
No, it's not.
There's literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles of wiring, and it's just not an easy thing to do, but
Nope.
it'll be worth it.
Yeah, it will be. All right. Well, remembering the 60s this Saturday. Thank you, John, for coming
welcome.
in. I appreciate it. And
Hope everybody comes.
yeah, be sure to get your tickets ASAP. They're going to be gone before Saturday. I would be really surprised if there's any ticket sales on site.
Well, hopefully, everybody who wants to come gets a ticket.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, let's go out with one last song from the virtual Remembering the 60s concert from
Okay.
last year. This is House of the Rising Sun.
Okay, this is Bard, and he nails it.
Yeah.
What else can I say?
Yep. Talking about Bob Dylan songs. He didn't write this song, but it is on his first album.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Bart Wiseman, Remembering the 60s, House of the Rising Sun.
There is a house in New Orleans where they call the rising sun. It's been the ruin of many a poor boy, and God, I know I'm one. My mother was a tailor. She sold my new blue jeans. My father was a gambling man down on New Orleans. The only thing that a gambler needs is a suitcase and a trunk, and the only time he's satisfied is when he's all drunk. I know I'm